This question that this lady, for publicity purposes, wrote me, I thought it was appropriate. What do you consider to be the one universal truth that can assist individuals through these changing times? Okay, it comes from someone who has not been to my teaching and has a journalistic background, and that's fair enough, isn't it? It's a fair enough question. What do I consider to be the one universal truth that can assist individuals through these changing times? Right. So the key word there is universal truth, isn't it? Now, a universal truth means something that is true universally, mean true right through every action, every place is true, universal. A universal truth, which the question can't point out, but I'm going to point out as the answer. A universal truth is not a personal truth. A personal truth, any personal truth, is a selfish truth. A universal truth cannot be selfish, for the universe is not selfish. Only the person on earth is selfish. There's no other selfishness except the person on earth. That's the only selfish person there is. So the universe doesn't have any selfishness in it. The only selfishness that ever goes into the universe is when man landed on the moon. That's the beginning of it. Going into the selfishness. And putting up his flag that he owns it. Or someone owns it. So we're on the way to corrupt the universe. We'll do a good job. We'll make it as unhappy as this unhappy earth. Or unhappy world that we put on top of the earth. So a universal truth is something that's true at every level of the life, but it's not true in the personal life. So the question is, what do you consider to be the one universal truth that can assist individuals through these changing times? Well, we better get that straight too. No times ever change. They only appear to change. You've got the same problems as Boadicea had. And whoever the king of the Norwegians was before Jesus. And all the problems in India at the time of Buddha. You've got the same problems. The problem is the person. The problem is yourself. Wherever there's self, there's problem, there's position. And when you get two persons in two positions, you get conflict, one vying against the other. So what's a universal truth that's not true to the person, except when it suits the person? And what's the universal truth that's true all the time, that can help everybody? And the answer is giving. That's all. Give. The person, you'll notice, doesn't want to give. The person, you'll notice, to begin with, doesn't want to give up its position. Wants to defend its position. Now, defending a position is not giving, is it? To give up a position is to give. Seldom occurs to the person to give up the position, because the person is the position. The person's got something to defend. So if you want to give in the first instance, at every opportunity, give up your position. That's giving. So to go back to the previous model of man and woman being together, being true to the situation, which is another model, another truth, true to the situation. Man and woman, I am with you, woman, that we might enjoy one another. To apply the universal truth, I have to give up my position to you at any time. I must be in a positionless place, as you must be in a positionless place, as this is going to work. Because if you're going to take a position and I'm not going to take a position, that's all right by me, but I won't put up with it for long, because you'll only damage yourself trying to make an impression on my non-positionless. You get very unhappy because I'm not getting unhappy with you. Nothing makes the position unhappier than if I keep yielding. The position takes a position to want to get a feedback, to have a collision, a bit of discord, get a bit of happy unhappiness. So, to apply the universal truth to your relationship, I must give. Now, how can I give to you, my woman? What do you want, my woman? That's not a position, is it? What do you want? I want you to love me. How do you want me to love you? As soon as I keep asking this, it will reveal to her whether she is demanding of me or whether I am not being true. For there is demand in the self. And the way of asking the questions is to allow the other to see the demand that's coming into them. And my woman would then say, it's all right, it's a demand in me. I'm feeling insecure. Or you're disappearing too much into the other. And I can't reach across the distance. And then I would say to her, do I love you? And only she can say whether I love her or not. And she says, yes, you love me. And I say, well, don't be insecure. Come with me. Give up your position. Give up your insecurity. Come with me. So the universal truth is to give. And what's the second? How else can I apply the universal truth? Such as in the afternoon tea break, when you start to relate to one another again. Well, in a way that I've often mentioned to you, to give my sweet nature, to be able to listen to the other, to be courteous and not polite. As I've explained, courtesy comes from the old God King's court, where the king was a God-man, filled with God. No existence as a person inside of him. And so he wasn't polite, he was courteous, in which he acknowledged everybody that he dealt with, and everybody in his court acknowledged each other, paid respect to each other, real respect, not politeness, which is associated with politicians and compromise and dishonesty and lies. For politeness is a liar, a subterfuge, a hiding of my pain. Whereas courtesy is an honouring of you who exist in me, being courteous to you, by acknowledging you, by being open and straight, and firm as need be, but not taking a position. And so my whole court was courteous, and the whole nation ran beautifully, because there were no politics and no politicians. Everybody did my will, because if the centre is true and straight, then it ripples out, the justice ripples out from the centre. But the so-called kings and queens of our world are in such a mess, such a disgraceful mess, that they can't even be true to what they pretend to be. They can't even keep up a facade, because there is no God in them. They really think that they are their position. When a God queen and a God king has no position, for they are truly in their place, in God, inside them. Nothing to prove, only justice to be administered by the king, being true to the situation. Politics arise when the administrators of the king's will start to think that they know what's best. And then the compromises start. And the bribery and corruptions and payoffs start. Because the king and queen are no longer God, men and women. The centre falls to pieces because it is, and so does the nation because it is corrupt. And then you get every nation as it is, including Australia. Because the centre cannot hold. The people cannot hold. And when the people can't hold, they run round desperately with momentum, searching for something that's got some meaning to it. And they can't find it, but they have to keep moving fast. For if you stop, the pain is so terrible that you feel you're going to go under. But you who are living the divine life, you must stop. You must bear the pain or the fear of going under. You must be true to being able to be alone within. You must stop the momentum of the human mind, looking for solutions, looking for answers, looking for information. What will I do? What can I do? What about this problem, that problem? When I've already told you what to do 1,000 times, if I speak the truth, would you please be true to the situation and not to yourself? Would you please stop considering yourself and be true to the situation? The situation, if you are living with someone, is that you enjoy being together. And if you don't enjoy being together, is to find out why. Right. So that's the universal truth is to give.